When I reflect on what it might mean for the future, I'm very, very concerned that in the future, something approaching normality will return, but the new normality may include COVID wells, which exist within the children's population before they're vaccinated and in disadvantaged communities. I think COVID-19's revealed fault lines that we already knew were there, but we've got to come back bolder. We've got to challenge the status quo and cease accepting some of the policy fails that the DfE was seeking to force us into in 2019 and 20. I'm thinking of things like the policies which lead to an over-demand on places in specialist schools by children migrating away from mainstream, especially mainstream secondary sector. The support for academy trusts implementing zero tolerance on behaviour policies that clearly discriminate and disadvantage the more vulnerable children in our schools. The rigorous terminal examination system with no second chances that clearly promotes the interests of the more socially and economically advantaged sectors of society. And Ofsted promoting a version of cultural capital that just reinforces privilege as far as I can see. And all of this in a policy framework being led by government hangers-on. During lockdown, I read the book by Akala, Natives, and he has very high aspirations for what the education system can do for disadvantaged communities. I think he'd be a very rigorous Secretary of State if he had the opportunity, but he sees the education system as it is as fundamentally rigged against the disadvantaged. And I think as a profession, we must now keep engaged in the new alliances we've built with communities and families who now have a greater understanding both of the complexity of the work that we do and the depth of our care and our passion for education. And we've got to use those alliances to empower families and children to join us in challenging a system that's fundamentally broken.